we've experimented in the past, while at Forge and otherwise at different models. And you'd imagine that the most ideal model looks very passive, completely rules-based, based on what a set of factors like market cap, company growth, et cetera. But the challenge that happens with creating a so-called index is in the private markets, there's not enough liquidity to go and actually create a fund to properly track that index. So what ends up happening is you become a forced buyer as companies' prices are increasing. And then if companies' prices are decreasing and their allocation and weighting is lower, you become a forced seller. So there ends up being a ton of inefficiency in trying to do that. And at the same time, if you had a purely active fund, then it's based on kind of the whims of the management team. And so what we tried to do is get the best of both. We looked at how this is being done in other asset classes. For example, the S&P 500 has a set of inclusion eligibility criteria. And even once you meet that eligibility criteria, they have a committee that then further decides when to include you in the S&P 500. So notably, Tesla, as an example, became eligible to be in the S&P 500, but the committee didn't include it until 6 months later. So what we've done is we've set out a set of 5 inclusion and eligibility criteria that's meant to kind of vet out things that don't look like traditional high growth venture-backed startups, things that don't look like they should be included. And that's the first pass filter. If a company is excluded there, it can still be manually included by the investment committee, but that at least serves as the first pass. And then from there, we also look at a set of metrics around the company. So we have a dozen metrics around whether it's a company's growth rate or addressable market size, asset light versus asset heavy business models. We're keeping into account executive turnover as a data point to consider. And then also importantly is execution in the secondary markets. So what we do is we actually go and participate. We're agnostic. So we participate in companies' primary rounds. We participate series C, D, E, F, G, and so on. We do secondary purchases from founders, management teams, employees, early investors. And we purchase on the open market through places like Forge, because our job is to provide best execution for the fund and the end investors. And so it's not as simple as going and saying, hey, we're going to buy this company. Where is it currently offered? And just do that. You have to see, where has it been trading? How has that, what are the various structures used to trade it? And actually see how you can effectively get a better price that might be available on the market.